This Saturday is UFC Noche, Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili for the bantamweight title. And Merab is doing something I did not expect. And this all started about a month ago. He is preemptively ducking Umar Nurmagomedov. We all know Umar is the #1 contender. Merab, in multiple interviews, is laying the groundwork for, I don't really want to fight Umar. He's not the #1 contender. I don't want to fight him. I'd rather fight somebody else. In one interview, he was so furious because he gets mad anytime that anyone even suggests that Umar is #1 contender. In one interview, he literally stormed off because he was pissed that they suggested that Umar Nurmagomedov was the #1 contender. We're going to look at all the clips. We're also going to look at an interview with Sean O'Malley. We're going to look at a quick clip from that as well because he's picked up on that. He's picked up on the fact that for some reason Merab is so triggered by Umar Nurmagomedov, and Sean O'Malley trolls him a little bit at the press conference, trolls Merab about Umar Nurmagomedov. So we'll take a look at that in this video as well, because it's just crazy, man. I'm really looking forward to the winner of this fight, Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili, fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. I think that's a banger matchup. Really looking forward to it. And the fact that Merab is like, no, it's not going to be him. And he even had the audacity at the presser, the pre-fight presser, to call Umar Nurmagomedov an easy fight, which was hilarious considering he doesn't want to fight him. But we'll look at that later in the video. Let's jump right into it. First thing we have is an interview from about a month ago. And this is where it all began. And what I want you to notice, because I know someone's going to point it out in the comments, Merab will go on these long spiels about how, I don't want to fight Umar. Umar doesn't deserve it. I'm not doing this. He only beat Corey Sandhagen, blah, blah. I think this guy deserves it. I think that guy deserves it. This guy beat this guy and that guy beat. He lays out the whole case for someone else to get a title shot. But then he ends it with, well, I'll fight anyone. I'll fight whoever the UFC tells me to. So it's like he's trying to duck, but then at the same time, at the end, he's kind of absolving himself of any wrongdoing by saying, well, I'll fight anyone. Well, you're trying desperately not to fight the guy that everyone has anointed the #1 contender because he beat Corey Sandhagen, who people were saying was next in line. And you look at the division right now, there's only one other person you can make a claim for a title shot, and I don't think the case for him is even that good, but we'll talk about that later. Let's start off with this interview from Helen Yee Sports.
What did you think of the Corey and Umar fight?
Yeah, that was a good fight, and Umar win this fight. Congratulations to him. Yeah, that was good gift from UFC from number 11 to no fight nobody, top 15 to fight number 2.
I hate this narrative because we already heard that multiple people turned Umar down. Umar was so desperate for a fight, he accepted a fight with a UFC debutante who was also a highly skilled fighter in Bekzak Almahan, who actually rocked him and is a very good fighter and I think has a promising future in the UFC. But we already know there was multiple people who turned down Umar as he's trying to fight his way up the ranks. And even in the fights that he did take, he was taking kind of veterans who were kind of like gatekeepers of the top 15, like Hani Barcelos, and then he was dominating those guys. So I don't even think it's that much of a gift. And plus, was Ikram Aliskerov, was that a gift against Robert Whittaker? I don't think so. So it can only even be anything positive if you actually go out there and win. And he went out there and dominated Corey Sandhagen, which earned him a title shot. But let's continue listening.
Even he pulled out first fight, and Corey Sandhagen beat the shit out of Chito Vera, and he beat other guys. And Corey Sandhagen was keep winning against top guys. And then Corey was supposed to be next for the title, I believe. But now, I guess Corey. I'm sorry, Corey, but goodbye for belt. Long time, brother. I love you. I respect you. You are a great fighter. I think you deserve for the belt, but now you lost your chance. And now, Umar win his fight, and good for him. And we'll see. I wanna focus for O'Malley's fight first. Yeah. I have this big fight coming up, and after this, whatever UFC decide will be next for title shot, I will fight.
So who's ever next, I will fight, but then let me make the case for somebody else other than Umar, because Umar doesn't deserve a title fight.
Next, I think Figueiredo deserves more because he beat a former champion and he beat
Chito.
Yeah, he beat Chito. He dominated Chito again.
I mean, this is so he just justified Figgy's title shot. He beat a former champion, aka the dead body of Cody Garbrandt, maybe just a faint pulse on Cody Garbrandt, and then he beat Marlon Vera. Does anyone have any doubts what Umar would do to Marlon Vera? Does anybody have any doubts? And I know that's not the same thing, but I'm just saying, like, Figgy has a good win streak, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, let's be honest. Corey Sandhagen, win against Corey Sandhagen trumps all those wins, in my opinion, of the current win streak of Figgy.
Oh, and he beat Cody Garbrandt?
Cody Garbrandt, and he beat Rob Front. So he beat 3 top contender. And Figueiredo, he has a big name. He's former champion. And
yeah, look. So basically, every reason in the book to give Figgy a title shot off of a 3-fight winning streak. Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, and Marlon Vera. I understand these are decent names and they're ranked decently, but honestly, like in my opinion, a win over Corey Sandhagen, especially a dominant win over Corey Sandhagen, is worth more than beating Rob Font, is worth more than beating Cody Garbrandt. What does beating Cody Garbrandt even mean? That means absolutely nothing. And then beating Marlon Vera, all right, it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Marlon Vera, also got dominated by Corey Sandhagen, who then got dominated by Umar Nurmagomedov. And again, it's not, I'm not playing MMA math here, but to act like Umar, who's 18-0, okay, 18-0, 9 finishes, won a long win streak in the UFC, finished Sergey Morozov, finished Brian Kelleher, had a fight against Jack Shore, get canceled, beat Nate Maness, beat Hani Barcelos, dominated him, beat Bekzak Almahan, unranked UFC debutant who's actually a nasty, skilled fighter because he couldn't get a fight with anyone else, trying to fight other top guys. They're turning him down left and right. They even tried to make the Umar Merab fight at one point, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that 100%. But then he goes out there against Corey Sandhagen and absolutely dominates him. I think that's worth more, in my opinion at least, than, what Devison did. Now, I understand that you look at Merab's record, Jose Aldo, Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo, damn good win streak, especially to cap it off, and it's even longer than that. Marlon Ray is not good. But either way, ducking him. Now we have this interview with MMA Junkie, where again, same thing, just ducking Umar. Yeah, Umar doesn't deserve it. It's Figgy, it's Figgy, it's Figgy, it's Figgy. He desperately wants Figgy. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the presser, the most recent interview he did, where he says Umar's an easy fight. So if Umar's such an easy fight, also Umar's the biggest fight in terms of, interest from fans and, in terms of pay-per-view buys as well, if you're the champion. So who do you want more? Umar, who's a bigger name and an easier fight, according to Merab, or Devison Figueiredo, a former flyweight?
You win this fight. I know, like they're saying Umar Nurmagomedov will probably be next. And I remember when they were trying to get you to fight him a few years ago, you told me, like, I think that's a fight that'll make more sense when it's for the title, when we're both like at the top of the division. So do you think that will be the right time? Or do you think if you beat Sean, they're going to try to give him a rematch because he's a big name?
So our fight, of course, I believe myself and I'm going to win this fight. But even whoever wins this fight, I think next title fight deserved is Davison Figueiredo deserved to the fight for the belt.
Every time he's asked, Davison Figueiredo, he won't dare say Umar. He won't dare talk about a fight with Umar, even though it's a bigger name, even though it's a guy who just beat, the number 2 guy in Corey Sandhagen. No, I don't want to fight Umar. I want Devison. Oh, no, he beat Marlon Vera. Oh, my goodness. He beat Marlon Vera. He beat Cody Garbrandt. Oh, my God. Yeah, anything but Umar. We'll get Umar's response. Umar has put out a response to this, by the way, as well. And we're also going to look at him storming off an interview in a second. And that interview, I believe, was from last month, but it was never released because Merab just stormed away.
Because Figueiredo beat 3 former champions. No, he beat 1 former champion in this weight class and 1 title challenger, and he beat Rob Front. And Figueiredo is former champion, and he has big name and he deserved, because Umar he only beat Corey Sandhagen from top 15. Only one guy he beat from top 15.
By the way, I've said this before, I'll say it again. The rankings don't necessarily matter, but if you want to make a case, you can say, oh, well, Umar just dominated the number 2 guy. Oh, well, he's a former champion. Oh, so Umar beat 1 ranked guy, and meanwhile, Figgy beat 2 ranked guys. Oh, okay. He beat 2 ranked guys instead of 1 ranked. And I get it's a 3-fight win streak versus well, I guess even a longer win streak here because he hasn't lost. He's 18-0. So I don't even know what I was going to get at there. But longer win streak, dominating competition outside the top 15. But we're not here to kind of really debate the the whole entire resume here. But let's continue on with this.
And why he deserved to fight for the belt? I'm not saying, even if I won't be champion, even he has to fight Sean O'Malley, he don't have to. I don't think he deserves to fight for the belt. That's my opinion.
I just realized there he said, even if I don't become champion, he doesn't deserve to fight Sean O'Malley. Okay.
That's my true answer. Figueiredo deserved more. That's, if you want my opinion about that. If Umar don't deserve to fight for the belt, because we all know he was fighting nobody and he got fight number 2, and now why he deserved? Because Figueiredo deserved more. That's it. That's my opinion.
So basically, Merab has become Deiveson Figueiredo's cheerleader. Next, we're going to look at the press conference, because here's where it just makes absolutely no sense, because he says Umar's an easy fight. But before we look at that clip, I want to look at this clip earlier in the press conference. This is at 4 minutes into the press conference, okay, roughly 4 minutes into the press conference. Listen to what he says here just in general, talking about the bantamweight division.
One punch and he can change everything. So it's like every fight like this. I don't look any fights in UFC easy, because there is no easy fights here.
So there's no easy fights here. Now let's skip ahead to 16 minutes, okay? Around 16 minutes, 16:25 to be exact, in case anyone's looking for it. He's asked about Umar Nurmagomedov. And again, he goes on to be Marlon Vera's cheerleader. Or not Marlon Vera's cheerleader. Deiveson Figueiredo's cheerleader. Figgy's cheerleader right here. That's who Merab is now. The cheerleader for Figgy. He's going to get KO'd by Sean O'Malley on Saturday. And in his post-fight interview, he's going to say, Umar not deserved title shot. Figgy deserved title shot. Deiveson Figueiredo, he's got a dark side to him. I heard Figgy's got 2 German Shepherds. I heard Figgy smack spray paint cans out of teenagers' hands during civil unrest. That is going to be Merab, win or lose Saturday, campaigning for Figgy to get the next title shot. Listen to this.
This fight would have to take on Umar Nurmagomedov. What do you think about that challenge in the future? Obviously, a lot of fans want to see who would prevail with the grappling with both of you guys.
First, I have a top opponent, Sean O'Malley, and I'm focused on him. And God willing, after I win against him, whoever UFC wants to me fight, I will fight him. I never choose my next opponent.
So I'll fight anyone, but let me cheerlead for who I really want to fight, because I think they're actually an easier fight, but I'm lying and saying the person I don't want to fight is the easier fight.
Always whoever UFC offer, I fight. And if Umar is my next opponent, that's fine. Me and my team, we will work, we will training, and we will, no problem. That fight, I think it's easy for me, and that fight, no problem for me. I will dominate him.
So it's an easy fight. He'll dominate him. It's no problem for him, but yet he doesn't want it. Plus, it's the bigger name. Something ain't adding up here. Look, I know Merab isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but if he thinks he's fooling anybody, and then he goes on, I think Figgy's the much tougher fight. I think Figgy is the much tougher fight than Umar. Umar's easy. Why would I want to fight him? That's an easy matchup. But yeah, you're really pulling one over on us, Merab. None of us get it, okay?
What excites me more, Deiveson Figueiredo, because he is former champion. So I already beat 3 former champions.
Look, this is Dana White right here. And Figgy is John Jones, okay? That's what it's coming off as, man. He's cheerleading for Figgy every chance he gets.
Sean O'Malley is champion now. He will be my 4th champion. And if I fight Figueiredo, that will be my 5th champion. And I don't think somebody else do this. That's my goal. And Figueiredo, he has a knockout power. He has a good submission, good ground game, lots of experience. He's bigger than me. And also, he dominated former title challenger Chito Vera.
Oh, my God. He dominated Marlon Chito Vera. You know what's more impressive than that? Dominating Corey Sandhagen. who dominated Marlon Vera as well. You know, maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it seems like Merab is ready to give Figgy a mustache ride.
I think even impressive way the Sean O'Malley did. I think he even dropped him down and knocked you. Or Sean O'Malley just landed knee against Chito, but Figueiredo just dropped him with the strike. So that fight excites me, and I think Figueiredo deserves more. But whoever UFC wants or whoever next contender, I'm fight. I never choose my opponent.
Again, I'm going to desperately campaign for a certain fighter to get the next title shot. But again, whoever it is, I'm desperately campaigning over and over and over again. I'm promoting Figgy like it's going out of style. I'm Dana White. He's John Jones. He's got a dark side to him. At this point, I'm genuinely expecting him to say, Figgy's got 2 German Shepherds. He shoots guns. You know, he goes fishing. Whatever else it may be. Last clip we're going to look at from Merab, and then we're going to get to the Sean O'Malley clip, because Sean O'Malley actually has picked up on Merab being pissed about the fact Umar may get the next title shot. Apparently, this is an interview that did not get posted. If you look at the actual tweet, who the F is Umar? Throwback to our unfinished interview with Merab in August. The machine suddenly walked off when the conversation turned to the next title contender. So this is Merab just absolutely throwing a fit because he's asked about Umar Nurmagomedov.
Why it will be Umar Nurmagomedov? Why it's not Figueiredo? Why is that because of Umar say UFC told me like this? So many, I don't trust this guy.
So do you not think Umar deserves to be put in the title shot at the moment?
Who the fuck is Umar? He just fought one fight.
He can't get Figgy's dick out of his mouth. And it's just crazy to me. He's literally that. Let's look how mad he is. Let's watch it again. It's only 20 seconds long.
Why it will be Umar Nurmagomedov? Why it's not Figueiredo? Why is that because of Umar say UFC told me like this? So many, I don't trust this guy.
Who doesn't he trust? By the way, I think Merab left the park to do this interview, and now he's going to storm off middle of the interview.
So do you not think Umar deserves to be put in the title shot at the moment?
Who the fuck is Umar? He just fought one fight.
All right. So let me break this down for you. I think it's a combination of he thinks Figgy's an easier fight. He truly believes Figgy's an easier fight, so he'd rather fight Figgy. But I also think it's a bit of sour grapes, okay? And hear me out. You look at Merab's resume. Henry Cejudo, Piotr Jan, Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes, Cody Stamen, John Dodson, Gustavo Lopez, Casey Kenny, Brad Katona, Tyrion Ware. That's a long win streak. I think, what was it, 11 win streak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fight win streak in the UFC to get his title shot. And the UFC didn't give it to him when he earned it. They made him fight Cejudo after he already had earned it. And I think he's pissed looking at Umar. He's like, you know what? Umar only had to fight Corey Sandhagen. Now he's getting a title shot. Meanwhile, I scratch and claw my way to the top. And I understand it to a certain extent, but it's just jealousy. I think he's just jealous. Now, before we look at the Sean O'Malley clip, which is actually rather hilarious, Sean O'Malley getting better about talking shit with each and every passing day. But let's take a look at what Umar had to say. There's a couple things Umar Nurmagomedov has tweeted out. Jan fought for the title after 6 wins, O'Malley after 4. Merab could fight for the title with Aljo last year. That's technically not true. You have to stop crying. You are scared that I will take everything from you. Then Umar says, Merab, just focus on your upcoming fight. Too much Umar in your head. No, he's got too much Figgy in his mouth, I think. Everybody knows that you don't want to fight me, and honestly, I don't care about you. I'm just hunting for the belt. If you win the belt, we'll talk. And then lastly, a true champion doesn't choose their opponent, which is facts, which is absolute facts. A true champion doesn't choose their opponent. We'll see what ultimately happens, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit annoying when, like, it seems like we have a clear-cut number 1 contender in Umar, who just dominated Corey Sandhagen, who arguably had already made his case for a title shot. And I get it. Okay, maybe Corey could have sat out and waited or whatever. It doesn't seem like that would have been optimal for him to sit out and not collect a paycheck for a while. But Umar took advantage of that fight and won that fight fair and square. Okay, you can say, oh, well, it was a gifted opportunity. Well, what happened if Corey beat him? Everyone would say Umar's a fraud. He doesn't even belong in the top 15. So he went out there, he won. It's the most compelling matchup for Sean O'Malley in his next fight, in my opinion, and Merab. And I think it's a super interesting matchup that will actually sell a lot of pay-per-views. I think O'Malley Nurmagomedov is huge for the division. But anyway, O'Malley even realizes that Merab is so desperate not to fight Merab. He actually trolled him at the press conference. Listen to this.
I'll say this just so it gets clipped. Merab probably won't see the whole thing. He'll probably just see this. I think Umar is more deserving to fight me right now than Merab. I don't really mean that, but Merab's going to see that and fucking freak out. He has this weird thing against Umar. He got asked about him and he left. He's like, who's Umar? He just doesn't think he's deserving. So I'm sure that'll get clips sent to him and he'll freak out. But as far as who's next, it's definitely not Umar. It could be. It could be Figgy. Could be Ilya. There's options. Right now it's pointless. I got to go out there and take care of Merab's. But
so he says it could be Umar, could be Figgy, could be Ilya. I don't know why I say he's an Umnar. I don't know why he said. I don't know if it's a thing with Sean O'Malley. He's like intentionally mispronouncing names for fun, I guess. I don't know. But either way, he says, "Oh, I think I almost said Umnar." He said, "I think Umar deserves a title shot more than Merab." And I hope this gets clipped because Merab is so upset with Umar, even in title discussion. So even O'Malley recognizes that Merab doesn't want to fight Umar. But ultimately, I think O'Malley, if he wins, he's going to be lining up to fight Umar. Now, maybe he tries for the Ilya fight because it's basically free legacy because you win or you lose. You don't lose your title. If you win, you're double champ. Maybe that's what he'll try to campaign for. But I think O'Malley knows that Umar Nurmagomedov is a massive fight in the bantamweight division. But it's just annoying to see. You have Merab, who was kind of disrespected and made up narratives and was kind of ducked, and Marlon Chito Vera got the title shot in front of him, and now he's saying, I don't want to fight Umar, even though that's the fight that everyone wants to see right now. And if you don't want to see it, then you just don't like Umar, in my opinion, because that's the fight to make. And at the end of the day, if you want to say, oh, well, Davison beat Cody Garbrandt, he beat Rob Font, he beat, whoever else he just beat. Who did he just fight? I forgot that quick. Marlon Vera. I don't know how I forgot that. Well, okay, line all three of those guys up in one night. I'll watch Umar finish all of them in the first or second round, okay? No doubt Umar would literally maul Marlon Chito Vera on the ground. Cody Garbrandt would get brutally chinned by a tumbleweed. Rob Font is on the outs of his career. So to act like that 3-fight win streak there is so great, so much better than Corey Sandhagen, is just completely delusional. So ultimately, I think Umar gets the next title shot unless he gets injured or somebody gets injured and timing doesn't line up. I think that's a big fight for the division. I think it makes sense. I think Umar is the #1 contender after beating Corey Sandhagen in such dominant fashion. But I think Merab doesn't want to fight him out of spite and jealousy, but also because it's the toughest fight in the division. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.